everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Rich Conversations, where we talk about building wealth with purpose. I'm your host, Aruj Sayed, and today I'm here with Zahid Sayed and Athar Aryan. How are you both doing today?
We're doing fantastic.
Doing great. Thank you for having us.
So you both are businessmen. I'm going to be picking your brain today. And I saw you pulled up in a Corvette too.
Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah. My dad also drives a Corvette.
He has an amazing one. I love it, the color red. Beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what? Somehow the color. No, actually, I upgraded that. So I have a lot of carbon fiber around it inside.
Now. Make it lighter and go faster.
Yeah, lighter and also give accent to it.
Beautiful.
So you both have very pretty similar mindsets, and I'm going to be picking your guys' brain today.
And the motorcycle.
And
The
motorcycle.
bike. Yes.
We're bikers too.
Okay, so I kind of already know about your journey, obviously, because you're my dad. I want to hear a little bit about your journey and how you started. So just talk about what was it like? What did you study? Where did you come from? Everything.
Well, my educational background is in law enforcement and criminology. And I worked in it for a few years in Pakistan. So I had an opportunity to go back in Pakistan and serve for a few years. And then I came back, and here, when I came back, I didn't know what to do. And I was looking into different careers, and I was looking into different skills. And somehow I ended up in the restaurant industry and just keep doing it since then.
I mean, this industry is not very easy to handle.
Of course not.
You know, and this is retail because back in days, I was a manager at a future shop.
Okay, nice.
You know, and that's actually, I learned a lot from there because I was a
right.
sales manager and all that. But, you know, dealing with the retail is not that easy. And the restaurant is on top because you have to make sure the quality of the food and also people, you know, go and come all the time. That, you know, the staff is not really, you know.
Yeah, basically, you're being judged on every dollar you're selling. Like every customer who comes in, they judges you, right?
How do you able to maintain that?
I think it's a process. It's all customer service. Like, you know, I come from a criminology background. I come from law enforcement. So that was a totally different aspect of my life at that time. And what I believe in, that you only live once, so you got to do everything you can possibly do, or you're intrigued about, or you enjoy it. So that's why somehow I love people. I love customer service. I love meeting people. So I started one experiment out of nowhere in a small shop called Karachi Kebabis in Meadowville. And it just picked up from there. So it was just more of a... I had that just to see what do I want to do. So it was a time spacer for me.
Because I was like, why restaurants? Because it is a very tough business to operate.
Any business is a tough business. The thing is, like, one thing I have learned in my life, or I'll tell you something in my early days. So, you know, like as a young kid who wants to make money in his life, you're looking at everything in your life. Oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can be an engineer, I can be a doctor. Should I be an aeronautical engineer? But what happens is that, so I was looking into construction business at one time, and everybody around me started telling me, oh, do you know how to build houses? And I'm like, no. They're like, can you do construction? I'm like, no. Do you know how to do plumbing? Do you know how to do electrical work? I'm like, no. Then I'm like, okay, I'll open up mechanic shops. You know, they make this. And they're like, do you know how to fix cars? I'm like, no. So slowly, what I learned is that being an entrepreneur is a profession and a skill itself.
Yeah.
So once you become an entrepreneur, you can run a restaurant, you can run a mechanic shop, you can run a hotel, you can run anything you want. So this is one of the worst advice we usually get from the people around us who has never done anything, never built a business, never built an empire, that they kind of think that, you know what, you must be very good at what you're trying to do. You don't need to. You just need to be good at being an entrepreneur.
But do you think that any entrepreneur can make anything work?
Absolutely, because being an entrepreneur and a business person is a mindset. It's a CEO mentality. You can take one CEO from one business to another one and they'll make it flourish. Like a financial planner right here. You can plug him into any business and any skill, and he can make the money shine anywhere. He does not need to be a plumber or electrician or a construction worker or a restaurant owner.
Where that energy comes from. See, of course, you know, every day you wake up, you gotta have in our profession, when you're entrepreneur, you bring that energy out.
Right.
You know, what are the things that you do that give you that energy every day? Of course, you take care of yourself and everything, but mindset energy has to come from somewhere.
I think being an entrepreneur is a pure madness.
Yeah,
Because you end up doing everything you refuse to do for somebody else.
that's it.
You refuse to wake up for somebody else. You're like, I'm not going to go to job 8 in the morning because I'm not going to wake up for somebody. I'm not going to work for somebody. I'm not going to work late for somebody. I'm not going to do accounts for some. So you don't want to do anything for somebody while you end up doing everything for yourself. And that's the madness
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
I was talking with my dad today. He was like, you got to work hard. Being self-employed is a 7-day per week job.
It's a lifelong job.
It's like a lifelong job.
Yes.
You don't really you get a lot of perks and flexibility.
Yes.
But it is your whole life.
But it's also, why when he's talking about these things, I'm in the business for 25
Right.
years now. Every morning, I'm the same way pumped up
Right.
that I was in early days even.
Exactly.
And sometime I couldn't even sleep at night that I have to go in the morning to work
Right.
to help some people that I want to help.
Now, that's someone who loves what they do.
Absolutely. You got to love what you do. I went to entrepreneurship, you got to have. But now, of course, there comes stress too.
Of course.
And we all, how do you manage stress?
Well, I would say every job has its own curse.
Yeah.
Stress is there. But some stress you love more than other stresses, right? So being your own boss is the best stress you can ever have in your life. But at the same time, being, I like to get involved in a lot of extreme sports, get my kids involved.
Mm-hmm.
So, my children are the best stress reliever for me. My family is the best stress reliever. So, we go out as much as we can. We get into sports. We get into charity. There comes time that you start giving back to the community. You start building true connections. Where you start, connecting with your God, you start connecting with God's people. So these are all parts of being an entrepreneur, that God gives you an opportunity and a time and understanding, because you go through so much pain and suffering yourself, you start understanding other people.
So you own many restaurants, correct?
Yes, we have takriban almost 27 point of sales right now around the city.
Wow. And was there ever a point where you were like feeling like giving up? Because I know stress it comes every day and you keep pushing yourself. But was there ever a point where you were like, I need to keep pushing, or I can't do this anymore? And how did you break through?
Actually, the way I put it to this question is entrepreneurs are like sharks. If they stop swimming, they die. So there's no stopping. There's no stress can stop you, because the only thing will stop you when you're dead. So there's no wake up in the morning, because every day you wake up and you're like, you know what, how am I going to conquer the world today? What I'm going to get next? And then you get into this habit of freedom, because being an entrepreneur, being a business person is about owning your time, owning your life. And what happens? You become greedy with it. Like every day you want to own more. You want to have one car. You want to have a second car. You want to have a better car. You want to have a bigger house. You want to serve more people. You want to be able to do good for the community, do good for the people, live a better life. Children, you're going to leave a better legacy. So every morning you wake up with this greed, and that never lets you stop or sleep.
Yeah. No, I can relate to this, and because when I look at it, I look at two ways. I said, my goal have to be that big and scare the hell out of me.
Of course.
Because if they're not big enough that scare me, they're too small for me.
Absolutely.
That is the mindset that, that's why when you want to, start something, start big,
Right.
Then you have. The second thing what I noticed, change is very good, because if you don't change, when everything is going smooth, you are making money and everything. My personality is, why is everything is so easy to make money now? Right? There's something not right.
Absolutely.
Either I am not changing, or things are changing around me, right, that I don't know. So I disturb things to make sure that it's go.
That's why we say comfort zone is a kill zone.
Yeah.
If you're in comfort zone for too long, it will kill you.
No, we are talking because we have the same personality, and Aruj, you are start working with me. We are talking to the people who are maybe not entrepreneur, and they probably thinking, what the heck these people are talking, right? They have a job, and why we are talking about this thing is educating our community, because the community has the money. The community is established community, that's the community will grow. And also the people will listen to you if you have, whatever people say, this money doesn't matter to me and this and all that stuff.
100% it matters.
Right?
If somebody tells me it doesn't matter to me, I'm not giving
So let me give you an example. Let me give you an example here. So I was traveling to, I think, USA. And I went there at the airport. There was a big lineup there, in the security. And I remember I had an MX. So I got up there and that code of MX, and and I'm walking like all these people are waiting. I'm going through security like nobody's business. So I call my son. I said, Rehan, this is what happened. There were so many people because I had the Amex. And he said, Papa, who said money can't buy happiness?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, money doesn't buy. But there's the one point that I always bring to my children. I said, listen, money should be used as a tool.
Right.
Money is not your purpose. Purpose is something else. Money brings that closer to your purpose.
100%.
Right?
Like how you used to say, like finding that freedom that you get. People usually are chasing money, and some people chase money to the point that they just want to keep making money.
Yeah.
But then they realize that they don't even have time for
spend that
themselves.
money.
Yeah, they don't
Absolutely.
have that freedom that they were actually looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the so what we are talking about to the community is, if you have three children, maybe tell them that one of you should be an entrepreneur. Right?
I tell all three of them. Not one of them. They don't have that choice.
So I told my kid, I said, promise me one thing, that you're never gonna work for someone. I'm there to back you up if it's needed. But when you and set up some goals for them that they have to sort of achieve. And you were telling me about your son. Tell me a story a little
So
bit.
when it comes to that, like I kind of play a bit of your role in my house.
Yeah.
And being a financial planner, because when my son is mashallah 16 now. So obviously now he's in grade 12, he's going to go to the university next year, and he was much concerned that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, absolutely, go to university. You need to get your education, make friends, socialize, get to know how you move in the society. But I'm like, what do you want to do? So he gave me a few professions. I'm not going to name them because I'm sure they're all very respectable professions. So he's like, what do you think about? So I'm like, beta, I'm going to ask you one thing. I'm like, what? I'm like, reverse engineer your goals. I'm like, what do you want in your 5 years?
Yeah.
Do you want a certain car? Let's put it down how much the car is. Certain house, certain lifestyle, certain money. Came up to around like good $50,000-$60,000 a month. And I'm like, now tell me which profession out of you picked are going to get you there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, nothing. I'm like, let me build a blueprint for you. I'm like, I'm going to get you this, that many stores, that many businesses. In 3 years, you'll have all this.
Yeah.
It made sense to him. So let's not force our children to do something. Ask them what they want to do. And as you said, that, some people work entire life, just keep making money and they're not enjoying it. I'm like, what is the point of having, to me, a person dies the day his dream dies. When we're all kids, we all love flashy cars. We all love big houses. We all love bikes. But then the time starts coming in and the sports car turned into a reliable car.
Yeah.
Yeah. That bike insurance become too much.
Yeah.
That bigger house starts looking too much.
Yeah.
Because it's not cost effective.
Yeah.
That day you start dying.
Absolutely.
Because the day you were born, God gave you all those things in your head and you could achieve them, but you're killing yourself. You're committing a suicide the day you were like, no, I don't want that flashy car. I'm going to go here. Yeah. And I totally understand that there are reasons for it when you're starting the business, but don't let the dream die.
Yeah.
Don't be like, oh, I can't have this. And if you work for it, you'll have it. Because that's where my faith comes in, that if God has put it in my head that I like this, God is showing me the way. Now it's my choice.
Yeah.
Am I going to walk the path or I'm going to compromise myself?
Yeah.
When people look at you, and even some successful people, they think they came with very rich family that started some things for them.
Yeah.
Right. And now, they are all talking about this, that, do this and do that. And which is not really true, because I can show you a lot of people that had no money.
Absolutely.
We didn't come from rich family and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is people.
My first job was a construction worker.
So, look at this. So
my first job was a construction worker. I was digging roads.
So,
grade 10.
So, if you look at that and you look at, an example of the people who have built something,
right?
I think the people have to look at that what mindset they have, right? This country has a lot of opportunities. Even every country has it. Punjabi mein kehte jehda itthe pade lahoor bhi pade. Right? So, sometime, it's not what, where you live, what opportunities you create,
right?
But I think the biggest thing that I have learned over the period is not being greedy about money. It's greedy about the purpose. Right? Because the money, anybody could have enough money to live on. But it's not if they are they want to leave some legacy, that may be their purpose.
Of course.
Right? You are teaching something to your children, that could be your purpose. purpose.
Yeah.
Right. So that's, I think, is very important for me to teach. And that's why we start these episodes. We wanted to bring some successful people in our podcast. That we just had Najib Bhai. He's really helping, community, a charity that in Pakistan, malnutrition children that die before age six. So he has some sort of formula that got developed. That formula has all the nutritions needed to bring that to life, right? And he already have saved over 100,000 children, right, from dying. So that is his purpose. That's why he said, I can't sleep at night because another person, another child I can help, right?
This is what drives you, all the passion that's behind everything. And sometimes what you were saying, you kind of have to be a little bit delusional.
Of course.
Because anything is possible if you think it's possible. If you don't think it's possible, you're already limiting yourself and you're stopping yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because going out there, most of the entrepreneurs or successful entrepreneurs, I would say it would be very controversial. They're not very smart people because they don't know how to calculate things. They jump into things. They get into businesses. They get into expansions. Any smart person will never take a risk. They will all sit, they'll calculate everything, they'll calculate their salaries, they'll calculate their incomes. They'll be like, no, man, this is too risky, this is too dangerous, I'm not going to touch it. You're a bit delusional, you only see success. So sometimes what I say that God has given me enough strength or enough, God has made me wise to the point where I don't see failures. I only delusional enough to see success. And if you see success, it comes to you. You see delusion, or you see failure, you go towards it. Like you're a bike rider, right?
Yeah.
Where does our bike go? Wherever you see.
Yeah.
You look at right, bike will go right. You look at left. So same thing in your life. You look at success, you'll go towards it. You'll see only failures because some people will only see failures. And they're right as well. Some people will only see success and they're right as well. And they'll go whichever way they look at.
And now, it's because I'm a financial guy, so I always, of course, we all take risk, but, we make sure that with the risk have some sort of
protection.
when you go on,
you can jump off the plane, but you need a parachute.
Yeah, you need a parachute, right?
So
if you are sailing a ship, they always have those small boats on it,
of course,
right? And we wear helmet when we ride everything. So in your business, how do you eliminate risks? That's number one. Number two is that what are the attributes that a business owner should have that, because what we have seen in our financial, that the businesses don't survive second generation, like 80% of the businesses die in a second generation.
Yes.
Right. So what are the things that you are putting in place right now? I know you're teaching your children and everything, but how do you manage risk in your business right now?
As I said about creating a legacy, so everything is about creating a system. Everything is about creating a system, a blueprint. And whenever you're doing a business, you're not taking it as one-off.
Yeah.
You're creating a state. So any business you get in, and the reason I see they die in the second generation is they don't make enough money. Anytime you make more money, I don't know any kid who will no, I don't want your money.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do this.
Yeah.
And even if they want to do that, they will still keep the business going because that's where the money coming in. Because people say, follow your passion. Everybody wants to follow their passion once they have money in the pocket. If there's no money in the pocket, there's no bloody passion.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're all struggling for it.
Yes.
So that is why when we are creating, we have created a franchising system. Again, my whole family is involved in it. Now I'm bringing my children in it. And again, I'm not forcing my kids to be in there.
Yeah.
I'm teaching them what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm showing them what it could do for them in life. I'm getting them excited about their future.
He did the exact same thing.
We actually not only excited because Rihan was small, and then and I tell you why, because I brought this a family that I am helping right now worth around 60 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we look at the whole thing, and of course they were taking risk and everything because you are so busy in your own business, and because they have some tax laws that they don't understand. Their wealth would be lost by 60% if they would not have put this, proper tax planning and stuff.
Right, yes.
So
imagine building that much
and
losing it all.
You saw that lady.
Yeah.
Remember that we helping. At one point, she had 60 million, and now she's sitting at 20 million, right? And now we are trying to build something back
Right.
to the 6 million, 60 million. But what I'm saying is, there are a lot of people, and business owners, I'm speaking to business owners now, that they don't know that there are family trusts.
Right.
And they have a lot of rules
Right.
available.
Right.
We were able to reduce that tax when we calculated was 60% going into taxes.
Right.
We were bringing it down to 12%.
Right. Right.
After replanning and shifting that.
Shifting.
So what I am just saying is that yes, we are delusional as a business owner, but we're also a little bit realistic too.
A little practical. Yeah, it has to be.
There are fair things we must put in place
Right.
that is going to save us from the agony because somebody watching you. CRA doesn't have death and tax, if that's what I say.
It is very important that way, because even any business you do, you have your specialists.
Yeah.
Somebody is watching about your legals.
Yeah.
Someone is watching your accounts. Someone is
right.
watching your bills. Someone
Yeah.
is watching your other operations. So that is the key, that you need to have proper professional. And that's where I think a lot of entrepreneurs make mistake, or people make mistake. Like, if I would talk about Pakistan back home, a little example, there's no concept of architect in most places.
Yeah.
Anybody can get up and build their house, right?
That's right.
That's what they do, right?
Yeah.
Wall here, wall there, wall there.
Yeah.
So, and that is not a right approach, because here, again, when we come out of what I believe in as an entrepreneur for my business to last, to hire right professionals.
Yeah.
People who are doing, who know what they're
yeah,
doing.
entrepreneurs tend to want to do everything themselves.
Actually, that is the wrong step.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs should focus on what they are doing. So my business is restaurant,
Yeah.
and I don't claim to do anything else but to run my businesses. I have my own marketing team, which does the marketing.
Wow.
I have operations. I have accounts. So they're managers, they're general manager, and they're specialists and skillful people.
But
Finance people like yourself. I have lawyers who look into legal agreements. So I don't tend to sit and every day do. So that is a very wrong concept when we hear about people that, oh, I wear so many hats. Because when you wear so many hats, your business is going to get lost in the middle.
And and this is again, we are talking to our business owners now, because they're so busy in setting up businesses and everything, they usually don't get a time. And I have seen, you would not believe it, that people with a lot of money don't even have a will, a basic will. Okay, which is so important for a family, because there's a lot of tax planning you can do, all that stuff. So I'm just saying, sometime what happened is just seeking that kind of advice. Again, we have to start your business, but seek some kind of that advice that against professionals that
It's
like
crucial
you.
to have your professionals around you all the time for every part.
You might start by doing everything, but it's always better to delegate what you're not good at or what you think others can do better than
Being an entrepreneur or successful businessman is all about delegation.
Yeah.
Because when you build a business, your first priority should be to make yourself least important in your own business.
Let me ask you this question. When do you think would be the best time for someone to start delegating? Because I know even probably when you started, you were also doing everything at one point,
16
right?
hours a day.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when did you feel like, okay, in order for me to actually start growing more, I got to start giving other people tasks now?
Basically, as soon as you start something, and I do understand that people start on different levels, like some people start at bottom, some start at middle levels, some start at the higher level. But what it is that as soon as you have a surplus coming in, first of all, you have to pay your bills, which is very important. Business bills, then your personal bills. As soon as you start getting out of the personal bills, that is when you start growing. And for growth, you need people. So I would not really go hire a law firm right after my first location, but I will hire a social media manager. Let's say that's more important. Like probably when I'm in my second or third and I'm franchising, I will go for my law firm, right? But before going for the law firm at third location, I'll go for my accountant just to get my account set, right? Then once I'm franchising, then I'll go for but I would say that as soon as you should have your blueprint, and for each growth, your role expense, and then you need some sort of a skill to make it better. As an individual in a small business, you can do everything.
I have another role in this one. When I hired my first assistant,
Yeah.
I said, what the hell? She doesn't do anything all day.
Yeah.
Still doing all the things.
Right.
Really, I need her. And now I can't even live without her because, now she knows more than what I like, more my clients more. Second thing, which is very important, is the focus.
Yeah.
You have to evaluate how much
That's
you are worth.
Yes.
Your per hour, how much is it worth? If anything that is beyond your specialty, your role should be making connections,
Exactly.
looking at the opportunities.
Right.
If you are worth $1,000 per hour, then don't do any job that
Just
is
$20 an
only
hour.
for $10 or
Right.
$15.
Exactly.
So somebody asked me, you have a small area backyard and all that. Why you don't cut grass yourself? And this is good hobby. I said, no, that time I should be either relaxing or be doing a motorcycling or that is not what I'm gonna cut the grass.
Exactly.
If your hobby, sure, you do it.
You do it, right.
But don't do it because you are trying to save money when you can have that money, more money with you.
That brings back the freedom that you were looking for too, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Freedom and a specialist.
Yeah.
Any business grows with specialists.
Yes.
You need a specialist in every walk of life, right? Even as he's talking about the financial planning and tax.
Yeah.
You make all this money all through a year and the tax man comes and takes everything. What's the point of working? So I would rather not pay the tax man as much and I can pay him fraction and I'd be like, dude, save me my money, buy me my time. Because at the end of the day, being an entrepreneur is buying your own time. That's what it is.
Now, let's talk about children. Okay,
Right.
now we built something,
Right.
we took some risks, we are proud of what we build.
Right.
Okay, and I always tell people there are only three beneficiaries to your life:
Right.
your family,
Yes.
charities, and CRA.
Right.
If you need to kill one out of it, which
Yeah.
one would that?
CRA.
99 or 100% people say CRA.
Absolutely.
Right?
100%.
So I said, okay, then what you are doing about it, make sure CRA stays because
Right.
they are the death and taxes are the two things are
Right.
guarantee
Right.
everything. So now let's talk about the children. Okay, now you build something legacy and everything. Of course, you have to teach them how to manage money and all that. But what your children, what you want your children, again comes a purpose. Okay,
Right.
so I'm going to ask two questions. One is, of course, how you're leaving this legacy for your next generation, and the second is charity, how giving back to the community.
Right.
How important is that, and how it makes you sort of happy, and why you do it if you go give back.
Absolutely. Talking about legacy is that you get your children involved as early in their life as possible, right? Because when I started my first restaurant, my kids were really young, but they were with me there, right?
But what message would you have for all the children right now?
The children, I would say that, plan your life in advance. Don't wait for the time to come and then regret. Because if you wait, time is nobody's friend.
Yeah.
So earlier you plan. And if you're blessed enough, some people call nepotism and they say, it's been given by your family. There's always this one person in the family who's going to break the curse.
Yeah.
The poverty cycle, right?
Yeah.
And that may very well be you.
Yeah.
Right? So, and if your father has worked hard to bring you the happiness in life, thank him by taking over that legacy.
So, there was one saying, and this was very important. It said, if you are not born in rich family, make sure your kids are born
in a rich family.
Right? So what happened is, the role is for children, you bring from here to here and then teach them, they take from here to here.
Absolutely.
Right?
100%.
Because you don't want them, because I suffer, they have to start from here. That kind of mindset.
I hate
right?
that kind of mindset.
So, because my father didn't leave me anything, why I have to leave? You hear? I hear all the time.
I'm hearing this right now because my son is 16 and I'm just starting a new brand, Toronto Hot Chicken. I got him in place. I'm like, what do you want to do? Like the hot chicken and this and that. I'm like, all right, I'll open it up. So many people came to me. They're like, oh my God, he's so young. Let him learn himself. I'm like, no. I'm like, he does not need to learn himself because I have paid the price.
Yeah.
My father has paid the price for me.
That's it.
And I have paid the price for him. And I'm going to connect him with everybody I know.
That's it.
I'm going to connect him with all my friends.
Yeah.
All my contacts, all my links, all my expertise. So he can grow from here.
There you go.
Where I am, he starts from there.
Let me ask you both a question though. Do you feel like at one point that they should be doing these things themselves too, or there should be some, because I feel like me being like second generation from a successful business owner, sometimes I feel like in order for me to earn that type of hype or to get to that point, I also need to not suffer, but maybe go through some things myself as well.
Absolutely not.
No?
I'm sorry. Because the thing is, you have to understand one thing. This is a very bad example people give you from outside who are not successful. They're the people who do not have a generational wealth. Your father has worked day and night, blood and sweat, not just for him, it's for you. What you can do is you can take a step further. You do not need to suffer where he suffered. You do not need to drive the same car he drove because he didn't have money. You don't need to take the same bus he has to take. He's giving you all that so you can take his legacy further. If you be like, you know what, Dad, I'm going to start my own, what you did, where's going to be generational wealth? What's going to happen? It's going to end with him. So as a thank to him, that Dad, whatever you did for me, I'm going to take your legacy further and you're going to make sure that it goes to your children.
No, and I, this is so important for me that what you are discussing right now, because I think that children, every parents, whatever they have learned, they should teach their children that and say, okay, now don't relearn everything. Make sure you start from here and take some risk, and we are sort of behind you.
Exactly.
So go make some mistakes. Because you have a time to make. I know a lot of people have this, oh, you see, if you work very hard and this guy came from nothing and he made this and all that stuff. I said, if you take the percentage, the rich people's kids, they start from there and they build more legacy going forward, right? No, you could have a loser lose everything. Because
loser anywhere, maybe rich, maybe poor, that has nothing to do with it. But I would say it's the upbringing. If you have a good upbringing, you give the kids nice, safe, prosperous environment. And the most important thing is where usually kids walk away from their businesses or their father's businesses is sometimes the fathers or the parents or the family kind of become unsuccessful in creating that respect for themselves. They don't have that. The kids don't look up to you.
That's right.
So, and that's where you need to, walk with dignity. Make sure you do your charities. Make sure you become a good contributor to the community, to the society. When your kids go out, so they take pride in you being your kid, not be like, oh shit, that's my dad, right? I'm not gonna tell them that's my mom, right? So this is where when we walk with our head high, our kids look up to us and then they want to be like us.
Absolutely. Now, how important, this is the last probably as we're wrapping up. So how important is the charity, giving back to the community? I know there's always going to be less fortunate people than us, right? There could be health issue, could be opportunity, the same opportunities they don't have that they were not that we are teaching our children, so we want to help them at least that way. So what are the sort of one of the few charities that you are involved and why you are involved in this?
Well, what I totally believe in is that God gives you to give. Nothing is yours, right? So you are just...
You're not bring anything, you're not going to take anything.
So if God is giving you something, that is to give out to the people who need through you, right? So always be that connection. So God keep giving you. So that's my own greed.
That's it.
But keep giving to God, keep giving to more.
That,
right? At the end of the day. And this is what it is. I'm involved in few charities. I've been involved in quite a few charities all my life because I have always believed in giving. So that brings me a personal satisfaction and that makes my business goals grow. It helps me as a person. It helps my soul. It keeps me satisfied. We do something on 13th August. That's when we do free Halim night, and that is for the whole city is invited. We bring out free food, and in return, we ask them to...
I actually came to a couple of those.
And
fantastic.
we ask them to bring us school bags for the less fortunate children who are going to go back in September to school. We do a Sari night. That's when we ask people to... Again, it's free food for a whole community. Every community come in. We all cook, we make, couple thousand people come. And that is for basically to collect twice for Eid day. Because there is no Eid without twice and Eid here, right? And other thing is that those twice goes to non-Muslims as well. So they kind of get to know what Eid is, who Muslims are, what do we do, what do we not. And then some other stuff I am involved in Pakistan where we do prosthetics for the war amputees. And anybody with any sort of diseases, so if they need any sort of prosthetics, so we try to fund them as well. So there are different various ways and a lot of people are doing this charities and you're just a medium in the middle. God has given you and you're kind of like giving it to them.
So let's end with this. What would be 5 pieces of advice you would give someone who's starting a new business?
Let's start from him and I'll copy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to give you 5 advices, not on the starting business, but what personality you should have. Okay. So first of all is have the mindset, very positive mindset. Everything you look at, okay, I have a choice. I take the negative or I take the positive. It's not how quickly you, how many times you fall, how quickly you get up,
Right.
that matters. Okay. Second thing is money should be used as a tool. Everyone should have a purpose in life. That, okay, my purpose is to leave legacy. My purpose is to teach my children. My purpose is to give back to community. My purpose is this. Money is never the purpose. Money has to be there to solve that purpose. And that's God give you that money that we know. Third thing is also have that mindset of helping other people. If you know something and that you want to give back, they say, if you teach someone catch a fish, they will, earn their living. So if you can, anytime that you can do. Fourth is start your own business.
Right.
Teach your children. I know it's difficult to start. There was always, when I quit my job, I was making $70,000 back in 1991.
Right.
99. So $70,000 was a lot of money, right? I quit my job and I said, I'm going to start something and see if it's successful. So you burn your bridges, and I'm not going to say you burn your bridges, but teach your children to have that. And and the last but not least is giving back to the community, and also leaving a legacy for next generation, not only through your experience, but also through the a proper setup of look at the tax law of this country. If you're an entrepreneur, take advantage of. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. You think, oh, this is I'm going to just pay taxes, and this is I'm going to do, and this I'm going to do it. There are so many, if you look at these rich people, they have so many tools on their hand that they actually double and triple their wealth, what they were going to transfer to next generation.
Right.
So, and the charity and have a legacy that I did it for my family is something called donor advice fund for the business owner. So that what it does is that we put money from our business every year, and that money doesn't get donated. What is earns on it gets donated. So that's part of that stays in there. So your second generation, third generation, fourth generation will be donating on your behalf. And what you did, you took money from CR's pocket and put it into this legacy.
Right.
So that is my advice. And
great advice. I feel like he was already prepped for this question.
I know, that's what I was. My advice, I would say, I'll like, I don't know if I can go by points like him, but I can divide it into two. One would be spiritual and one would be more physical. The spiritual would be have faith. Yeah. Have faith. That's very important. Faith makes you go through hell like you're walking in heaven. Have faith. Pray. Prayers can change your destinies, no matter what's written for you. If you pray, destiny can be changed, right? 100%. Again, so have faith. Apart from that, if for newcomers, I would say, usually wherever you are, don't regret it. Grow from there. If you have seen trees or plants, they can grow on a fertile land, they can grow on the rock, they can grow anywhere. So growth is not limited to your location.
Yeah, as long as you can adapt, you'll get.
As long as you can adopt, you will grow.
Yeah.
And as Marine says, adopt and overcome. That's the first thing. You adopt, you overcome, you take over. Other thing I would say at the same time, I don't know, I'm trying to count 5, but this is something very important for everybody. And apart from that, once you come in the business life, instead of becoming everything, start hiring professionals. Professionals help you in the business, right? So you need your lawyers, you need your accountants, you need your financial planners, you need your marketing team. Never stringe out on this. So hire a specialist who can tell you what to do instead of you telling them what to do. So this is the biggest mistake we make in business. Usually we hire people and we train them.
Yeah.
I'm totally opposite, sir. I never train anybody. I'm like, if I'm paying you, you train me.
Absolutely.
You tell me what to do.
That's actually great advice.
Yeah. So whenever you're hiring a smaller business or bigger business, you hire people to train you. You don't train them. And again, as I would say, no dream is too big and no job is too small. We just need to start. And once you start, you have faith, you work hard, you pray, there's no way in hell that you will not achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah. Or what your version of success looks like.
Absolutely. And last but not least, you should have motorcycle.
You should have motorcycles, you should have fast cars, and you should do all kind of adventures, because more adventures you do, more risk you take, it will bring you closer to God.
Yeah.
Then when you're riding, like,
That's right.
I'm not gonna mention the speed, and then you just miss the near death. You believe God can save me from this? The problem I have tomorrow morning is nothing.
And nothing.
If I can jump off the cliff and I still land alive, I'll take you to tomorrow's meeting, right?
But I'm insurance guy, you gotta have insurance. So,
So these things bring you faith. So always get into this extreme adventure sports. Like, I take my children out for jet skis. I take them out for like horse riding. And every moment they're like, oh God. I'm like, you know what? There's somebody looking after you. So don't worry what's going to happen tomorrow.
Thank you both so much for this amazing episode. I think everyone learned a lot. I learned a lot. You guys, maybe, I don't know, we're like all learning from each other. And I hope that the viewers also learned a lot as well. Thank you both again. And thank you all for tuning in. This was Rich Conversations. And until next time, keep building wealth with purpose.